how to use ni wa in Japanese. So you might often see this piece of grammar, ni wa, after a verb or sometimes even after a noun, and this means in order to or for the purpose of. And it's not too complicated. Normally when you see ni wa, it normally means for the sake of. As we can see in the Japanese definition, suru tame ni. That means for the purpose of doing something. Like in this example sentence, in order to know Japan. So Nihon o shiru ni wa. So here it's following just a normal verb in the dictionary form. Shiru, to know. So shiru ni wa, in order to know. And so this is the general meaning that you'll normally see this piece of grammar used. Like for example here in Final Fantasy X-2, in order to be a great father.
立派な父親になるには心の準備ってやつがいるんだよ。
So 立派な父親になるには you need to be prepared.
土佐を変えるにはまず幕府を倒さなきゃならねえんだ。
In order to change Tosa, so 変えるには in order to change it, you need to overthrow the shogunate.
コルネオの屋敷に入るには代理人の推薦状が必要ってわけだ。はあ。
In order to enter Corneo's mansion, so 入るには。
だが、S フロストを撃つには彼らの協力は不可欠だ。
In order to defeat S Frost, their cooperation is essential.
確かにこの包囲網を抜けて逃げるには川を利用するしかないでしょう。
In order to escape, 逃げるには。
しかし、国を治めるには綺麗事だけでは済まないということですか。
In order to govern the country.
どうしてあんなものが？開けるには鍵がいる。
In order to open it, you need a key. So 開けるには in order to open it, 鍵がいる. You need a key.
木に登るにはツタの絡まった木の前でアクションボタンを押せばいい。
Like your Metal Gear Solid 3 giving instructions in order to climb trees. So 木に登るには in order to climb trees, you need to press the triangle button.
武器を使用するにはまずバックパックから取り出して身につける必要がある。
Or in order to use a weapon, so 武器を使用するには you need to take it out of your backpack and equip it.
レックスを破壊するには僕が必要だよ。
In order to destroy Rex, you need me. So 破壊するには in order to destroy 僕が必要だ。
ここまでの捏造動画を作るには結構なお金がかかると思います。
And finally, in order to make a fake video like this, it would take a lot of money.
一人で生きるにはこの世界は寂しすぎるんだ。時間が長すぎるんだ。
And sometimes you just see it translated as simply to live alone. So in order to live alone or to live alone, it's too lonely. So this is the general way that you'll see this piece of grammar used. After a verb in the dictionary form, like all of these examples, like the ru form, right? Just the base form of a verb followed with ni wa, just means in order to do that verb or for the purpose of doing that verb. However, you will also see them following nouns that are these kind of suru verbs. And so these nouns, like benkyo, you can attach suru at the end to turn it into a suru verb. Benkyo suru, a noun that follows with suru that expresses some sort of action. And so when you're using one of these, you don't need to have suru, you can just have the noun.
それらの起動にはこのキューピッドが必要だ。
Or like here in Death Stranding, in order to activate it. So 起動には 起動する is a suru verb, but here it's just used by itself. 起動には dun dun dun.
この種の研究には長い年月が必要だったのだ。
Here again with the for meaning, so for this kind of research, many years were needed. So just 研究には for this research. So for the sake of this research, for the purpose of this research, many years were needed.
完成には少しばかり時間が必要だぜ。
Here in Final Fantasy XIV, it's going to take some time to get it finished. So in order to finish it, 完成には it'll take a bit of time.
まだ完成には時間がかかりそうですが。シドニーさんから聞きましたか？船の修理にはミスリルっていう鉱石が必要です。
And finally here in Final Fantasy XV, in order to repair the ship, or just simply to repair the ship. So 船の修理には in order to repair the ship, we need this ore called mithril. And so that's pretty simple. Ni wa, when used after a verb or a suru verb just with the noun part without the suru attached, that just means in order to, for the sake of, for the purpose of. So suru tame ni. However, you may also see this ni wa following a noun that isn't an action noun. So it's not a suru verb like benkyou suru. When this happens, this is just a completely different piece of grammar. It is no longer the ni wa in order to meaning. In those cases when ni wa follows a noun that's not a suru verb or an action noun, in those situations it simply is just the combination of ni and wa. Ni often shows direction and wa as for. Like here in Death Stranding, as for me, I can't see them. This doesn't mean for the purpose of me. This is just talking about, as for me, I can't see them, I just feel them.
そして何より、彼には鬼物児を倒すというはっきりとした目的があります。
ここには鬼がいる。
Very clear here, as for this direction, here with koko ni wa. So as for in this direction, there is a demon.
ここにはお母様のお墓があるの。
And again with koko, here is where mother's grave is. Koko ni wa okasama no ohaka ga aru.
俺と涼子さんにはもう時間がない。
And finally here in 13 Sentinels, as for me and Ryoko-san, ore to Ryoko-san ni wa. So this doesn't mean for the sake of or for the purpose of, it's just as for us. There's no more time. But as you can see, it's actually pretty simple to tell the difference between in order to or just ni plus wa. And that's when the noun is this action noun or a suru verb or something that doesn't have any kind of action. Like in all of these example sentences, none of these nouns for as for me has this kind of feeling of action to it. Ore ni wa, as for me. Kare ni wa, as for him. Koko ni wa, as for here. Whereas the suru verbs all have this sense of action. Kansei ni wa, in order to complete it. Kidou ni wa, in order to activate it. So hopefully that little tip can help you guys make sure that you remember when it's actually in order to, for the sake of, or just simply ni plus wa. But I think it's pretty simple. Ni wa, when following a verb in the dictionary form, or a suru verb with just the stem, this means in order to, or for the purpose of. So in order to help this channel grow, make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment. So thanks so much guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Absolutely every piece of grammar is going to be covered on this channel in this style. So if you want to have a look at what pieces of grammar I've already covered and what pieces of grammar are going to be covered, make sure to check out the spreadsheet in the description below, as I've made this huge compilation of every single piece of grammar and I'm going to be aiming at covering it all on this channel. This channel is entirely thanks to everyone's support through Patreon or the Game Gengo website directly. So if you like these videos, then consider supporting us on the Game Gengo Patreon or website and come join us in the Game Gengo Discord community, hang out, learn Japanese, make some friends, and just help support the channel. Thanks so much guys for watching. As always, I'll see you again in the next video. See ya.